It's the 22nd of the month. You check your bank account, and something in your stomach drops. Not because you bought something crazy, not because you went on vacation or threw a party or did anything you'd regret. You just lived, paid your bills, grabbed groceries, got a coffee, maybe ordered food twice, and somehow, most of your salary is already gone. You do the math in your head, and it doesn't add up. It never adds up. And the worst part, this is the third month in a row it's happened exactly like this. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. It's not because you're bad with money. It's not because you spend too much. It's because there's something quietly working against you that nobody ever named, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. This channel is for people who do everything they're supposed to do and still feel financially stuck. We don't do hype here. We do honest. And we're going to show you exactly what's happening to your money and what to actually do about it. Let's get into it. Most people assume their money problem is a spending problem. They think, I just need to stop buying things I don't need. So they try budgeting. They download an app, they make a list, and for maybe 2-3 weeks it works. Then life happens, and the money still disappears, and they blame themselves. But here's the number that should make you stop. Roughly 60 to 65% of people living paycheck to paycheck earn above the median income in their country. Read that again. These aren't people without jobs. These aren't people who make very little. These are people with real salaries, real jobs, real intentions, and their money still evaporates every single month. That is not a personal failure. That is a pattern. And patterns have causes. The real cause isn't that you spend too much. It's that the way most of us relate to money was never designed for us to get ahead. We were taught, work hard, earn money, pay bills, save whatever's left. That's it. That's the whole financial education most of us got. And there is one catastrophic flaw in that model. We'll get to it. But first, let's look at where the money actually goes. Here's what happens to a salary. Let's use a real example. Say you earn $3,500 a month after tax. Decent money, real money. Right away, fixed costs take around 60 to 70% of it. That's rent or a mortgage, electricity, internet, your phone, transport to work, maybe a subscription or two you forgot you had. That money is gone before you make a single choice. You're left with maybe $1,000 to $1,200 of free money for the rest of the month. Now here's where it gets interesting. That remaining money doesn't feel like a scarce resource. It feels like regular money. So you spend it like regular money. A dinner out, a new piece of clothing, streaming services, a birthday gift, weekly groceries that somehow always cost more than you expected. And here's the mechanism nobody talks about. Invisible recurring costs. These aren't big purchases. They're small, automated, barely noticed ones. The gym membership you haven't used in 4 months, the software trial that became a charge, the premium tier of something you don't need, the just $9.99 a month that multiplied quietly. The average person underestimates their monthly subscription spending by 2 to 3 times when asked to self-report. You might be thinking, but I don't have that many subscriptions. Okay, open your last 3 months of bank statements right now, just in your head, and try to name every recurring charge, every single one. Most people miss at least 3, usually more. But here's the thing. Even if you canceled every subscription you don't use, that's probably $50 to $100 back. Important, yes, but it's not the real problem. The real problem goes deeper than subscriptions. Here's what nobody tells you. The reason your money disappears isn't primarily a math problem. It's a timing problem, a design problem, and, this is the uncomfortable part, a psychological problem that the entire consumer economy is built to exploit. Think about how your month is structured. Your salary arrives. For a few days, you feel okay, maybe even a little good. And so, consciously or not, you make slightly more generous decisions. You go to a nicer restaurant. You don't hesitate at checkout. You say yes to things more easily. Then, 2 weeks in, you start noticing the balance dropping. You get cautious, you hold back, but some of those big decisions, rent, the annual thing that debited, the online cart you didn't cancel, already happened. By week 3 and 4, you're rationing, you're stressed, you're telling yourself you'll fix it next month. And then the salary arrives again and the cycle resets. This is called the salary cycle trap, and it is not an accident. The entire retail economy, apps, stores, restaurants, streaming platforms, is designed to capture your spending in the first 2 weeks of the month. That is when you're most willing to spend. That is when the promotions hit your inbox. That is when treat yourself feels most justified. The math is brutal. If you spend freely in weeks 1 and 2, you can't undo it in weeks 3 and 4. You can restrict spending then, but the money is already gone. And here's the part that really stings. If this happens every month, it means you are effectively working the entire year and saving almost nothing. You're generating wealth for landlords, for platforms, for companies that rely on your automatic, unconsidered spending, not for yourself. And this right here is why people who earn real salaries retire with almost nothing. Not because they didn't earn enough, because they never broke the cycle. Now, I want to tell you about a woman named Priya. She's not a startup founder, not a tech worker. She was a middle school teacher in her early 30s, not a high salary, real expenses, 2 kids. For years, her money disappeared the same way yours does. She tried budgets, they never stuck. She felt behind her whole life.
Then someone told her one thing that changed everything. Stop budgeting what's left. Start telling your money where to go before it arrives. That's it. That was the shift. She didn't earn more. She didn't cut everything out. She just started every month before the salary hit her account, deciding where every dollar was going. Fixed costs first. A specific amount to savings moved automatically the day after payday. Then, and only then, spending money. She didn't restrict herself. She just removed the ambiguity. Within 8 months, she had her first real emergency fund. Within 2 years, she had started investing. Not much at first, but something. The cycle broke. Not because she became a different person, because she changed the sequence. And here's the principle behind it, mathematically. $300 a month invested starting at age 28 at a 7 to 8% annual return grows to roughly double what the same amount started at age 38 would become over a 30-year period. The single most expensive thing most people do with their money is wait. Every year you wait to build a savings habit, not to invest perfectly, just to save consistently, costs you years of compounding on the back end. Not because of what you spent, because of what you never started. The hardest part of breaking this cycle isn't motivation, it's visibility. Most people don't actually know in real numbers where their money goes each month. Not a vague feeling, the actual categories, the actual amounts. And without that, you can't fix anything. This is where tools can help. One that a lot of people use and that's built specifically around this idea is YNAB. It's based on a simple principle. Give every dollar a job before you spend it. So instead of looking back and wondering what went wrong, you're deciding in advance where your money is supposed to go. It won't make you rich by itself, but it makes the invisible visible. And once you can see your money clearly, your behavior starts to change automatically. If you want to try it, the link is in the description. Just so you know, it's an affiliate link, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. Here's the thing that's easy to miss when you're living inside the cycle. The financial system, the way wages are structured, the way consumer credit works, the way spending is marketed to you, it is not neutral. It is not designed with your long-term wealth in mind. It is designed to keep money moving. And money moving means money moving away from you. This isn't a conspiracy, it's just incentives. Banks profit when you carry a balance. Retailers profit when you spend impulsively. Subscription businesses profit when you forget to cancel. The whole system runs on the gap between what you earn and what you keep. And here's the quiet irony. The tools to escape that system are simple. They're not secrets, they're not complicated, they're just not taught. Because the system doesn't benefit from you understanding it. You do. And the people who figure this out early, not the ones who earn the most, but the ones who start keeping a percentage of what they earn consistently, they end up in a completely different place by the time they're 45. Not because they're smarter, because they changed the game they were playing. So here's the thought I want to leave you with. The month doesn't steal your money. The cycle does. And the cycle only works because it stays invisible. The moment you can see it, the timing, the habits, the emotional triggers, the automatic charges, it loses its power. You don't need a perfect budget. You don't need to cut everything you enjoy. You don't need to become a different person. You just need to interrupt the pattern once, deliberately, with clear eyes. So this week, not next month, this week, do one thing. Open your last 2 months of bank statements. Go through them line by line. Don't judge yourself. Just name what you find. Fixed costs, recurring charges, categories of spending. Write them down. That's it. That's the whole assignment. Because you cannot fix what you cannot see, and you cannot see what you've never looked at directly. The map was always available. Nobody just handed it to you. Now you have it. What you do next is up to you. This video is part of a 5-part series designed for ordinary people to get a real, honest education in managing their money, the kind most of us never got growing up. No jargon, no guru energy, just the truth about how money works and what you can actually do about it. Next up, the silent habit that drains your account every month. It's quieter than you think, and it's probably already happening to you. We'll see you there.